Live at 6, this is 13 News Now.
We start tonight with a look at the weather. A very cold night ahead. Good evening, everyone. I'm David Allen.
And I'm Regina Mobley. Take a look at the temperatures now. It's chilly, but it's only going to get colder. Let's check in now with Jeff.
Yeah, and those are, of course, the air temperatures. When you factor in the wind, which is blowing fairly briskly out there, feels about 10 degrees colder than the actual air temperature to exposed skin, mind you. Meanwhile, nothing on radar. Even as recently as about 3 hours ago, we saw a couple of really light flurries down to the south. Of course, we started out the morning with some decent downpours. Then we saw a little bit of a changeover, actually, to some sleet, then snow mixed in briefly, and then a little more snow shower activity came through, but now that is long gone. So currently, conditions, as I mentioned, 34 degrees, but it feels like 25. Winds out of the north at 13, and look at the dew point, very low. That's another reason those temperatures will be able to drop a little bit more significantly late tonight. For the next 6 hours alone, look at these readings. We start off in the 30s, we end up way down into the 20s, and those are the air temperatures. In the blue numbers there, or the white numbers on the blue background, I guess I should say, we have wind chills down to the teens even by midnight already. So if you're going out late this evening, you will really want to bundle up a pretty significantly heavy coat needed. Later tonight, scarves, gloves, that kind of thing. And then into tomorrow, temperatures don't recover a whole lot, but they do by Sunday. We'll talk about how that leads to a little rain.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Developing tonight in Matthews County, a 1-year-old boy has died after the sheriff's office says he was scalded by hot water in a bathtub. This happened at a home on John Clayton Memorial Highway. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens explains what happened.
A 1-year-old boy is dead.
Sad.
Sheriff's officials say the mother left her child alone in the bathtub. She says she returned to the hot water running and her child face down in the tub. The mother sat inside a car Friday afternoon with her face covered. She's seen leaving with a man minutes later. Patricia Griffin's daughter lives next door, but Griffin says she met the mother before.
No, I didn't know her family, but she came over to the house one time to use my cell phone. But no, they seem to take care of the kids.
Officials say the extremely hot water injured the child. Hillary Kemp saw law enforcement outside the home Thursday.
A whole bunch of cars. I didn't know what was going on. Sad. I just can't imagine how the family feels.
The investigation far from over. Griffin, like many of her neighbors, is still stunned.
Leaving a child in the bathtub is bad anyway, and hot water, I can't imagine.
And I did get a chance to speak to the mother of that 1-year-old. She didn't want to go on camera. She and another woman who she was with said it was just too soon. Matthews County Sheriff's Office and Social Services are investigating this death. No arrests have been made at this time. In Matthews, I'm Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
New information tonight in an officer-involved shooting in Hampton. Police say this is the knife the suspect had when he lunged at him. The officers were called to the scene of an attempted burglary yesterday morning on Jacqueline Circle. That's when they say Mark Shante Harrison tried to attack them with a knife. They opened fire on him. He is in the hospital tonight. He is expected to survive. He is charged with attempted maiming.
Developing now for the first week this year, flu activity is going down, at least a little bit. Oregon just lowered the activity level for the disease there from widespread to regional. In 48 other states, including Virginia, it's still widespread, and tonight some places are taking drastic measures to stop it from spreading. 13 News Now reporter Megan Shin is live in Chesapeake with more. Megan?
Well, David, the Center for Disease Control has been tracking the flu for 13 years, and they say this year is the most widespread case of the flu they've ever seen, and it's limiting visitors here to this senior center like many others for the time being.
It's an awful season.
Flu season is dangerous.
But yes, especially with the very young and the elderly.
The CDC says 53 kids have suffered flu-related deaths.
The flu can be fatal for anybody. I mean, I think we've seen that on the news already.
Immune systems are especially weak in seniors. That's why Commonwealth Senior Living in Chesapeake has a new sign on its door.
Limit visits to make sure that we're hand washing before entering a resident area and as well as when they're leaving so that they're not at risk of spreading germs in the community as well.
I talked on the phone with the resident's vice president for the senior care community. They have 7 senior living locations in Hampton Roads. She says some residents have the flu.
A little less than 20 that's been combined with upper respiratory infections, flu, as well as norovirus.
Now those people must stay in their rooms.
The only time that we isolate individuals is if they have a known infection.
While they clean the building for everyone's health safety.
And usually a lot of people have, in these facilities, have other illnesses going on at the same time, so they're more susceptible to getting anything.
Now, Commonwealth Senior Living says they give all the citizens and residents here their flu shots early. And the health department says it's only too late to get your flu vaccine if you already have the flu and once the flu season ends. So you still have a little bit of time. Reporting live in Chesapeake, I'm Megan Shin, 13 News Now.
Good advice. Thanks, Megan. The Catholic Diocese of Richmond has also issued new guidelines to parish leaders tonight to stop the flu from spreading during Mass. Priests are being asked to remind parishioners they don't need to receive communion from the chalice or shake hands during the sign of peace. And anyone who is sick simply should not. Even further, ministers of communion are also being encouraged to keep hand sanitizer nearby to stop the spread of germs.
The Hampton Roads Regional Jail hit with another lawsuit tonight, this one from the family of an inmate who died in his cell. They claim medical staff neglected treatment that could have saved his life. 13 News Now reporter Stephen Graves is in the studio with us to explain. Stephen?
Yeah, David, that lawsuit says 69-year-old William Thrower was supposed to serve a year on a probation violation. His family is now suing for millions after they deal with grief they say will last a lot longer.
Tonight, new allegations against Hampton Roads Regional Jail in Portsmouth. These now from around February 2016. That's when a lawsuit says 69-year-old inmate William Thrower had complaints of severe stomach pain. He filed a paper emergency grievance, but care went unmet. It was determined by staff to, quote, not be an emergency. Later in March, 3 more alerts on worse pain, even trouble sleeping. But documents say again, Thrower wasn't seen by staff and he was found later dead on a toilet. An autopsy saying gallstone pancreatitis, a usually non-lethal disease if treated, was the cause. The Thrower family is suing for $13.5 million. They joined 2 other families in the same type of fight, one of Jermichael Mitchell. Thrower's estate claimed damages against the jail and medical provider Correct Care Solutions, which is still in charge.
I have to make sure that CCS did what they were supposed to do. And I have to go back and review all the reports.
Superintendent Ronaldo Myers was not in charge during the alleged incident, but he says change is already in place. For example, no longer requiring inmates to submit paper emergency requests.
That's leaving it too much to the officer that they have to file it and then they have to give it to someone else. Now we just go directly to the source and let medical get involved much earlier.
And Meyer says the jail hasn't received the lawsuit but is already investigating. He says the goal is transparency here. Now, the Thrower family attorney expects all of these cases to start being resolved swiftly. Stephen Graves, 13 News Now.